Heartland Season 19, Episode 3 might just be the most shocking episode we've seen in years. I mean, we've had heartbreaks, family fights, and emotional goodbyes before, but what happens in this episode feels different. It's raw, messy, and real in a way that leaves you both angry and hooked at the same time. And let's be honest, Amy is at the center of it all. Her choices in this episode have left fans questioning everything they thought they knew about her. Did Amy really go too far this time? Did she make a mistake that could change her relationship with Lindy forever? Let's break down every heartbreaking, chaotic, and unforgettable moment that makes Heartland Season 19, Episode 3 so absolutely shocking. So, the episode begins with what was supposed to be a peaceful, family-centered day. The kind of day we love seeing in Heartland. But as always, peace never lasts long in this family. Nathan, poor guy, just can't catch a break. Right when things start looking up for him, life hits him with another crisis. Remember how he missed the family dinner last time because of the fire? Well, this time, he doesn't even make it to the table before disaster strikes again. He falls off his horse, gets injured, and still tries to show up. Because that's Nathan. Dedicated, humble, and constantly trying to prove he belongs in this family. And honestly, at this point, I feel genuinely bad for him. It's like every time he tries to take one small step forward, something pushes him 3 steps back. The man just wants a normal day, a sense of belonging, and maybe a bit of love. But instead, he ends up bruised, emotionally and physically. And yet, somehow, we can't help but root for him. Because even when things go wrong, Nathan doesn't quit. He keeps showing up. But the real storm begins when Amy decides to throw logic completely out the window. And I'm not exaggerating. This might be one of the most careless things she's ever done. After all the heartbreak and lessons from the past, you'd think Amy would be more cautious, especially with Lindy. But no, she makes a decision that's so impulsive, so thoughtless, that you can't help but shout at your screen. Amy, what are you doing? Yes, I'm talking about that moment. The kiss. The one that changes everything. Amy and Nathan finally let their feelings take control. And honestly, I get it. They've been through a lot, and emotions are high. But the problem? Lindy was right there, just a few steps away. And this is where everything goes downhill. Now, I can give Nathan a pass for a moment of weakness. He's not used to being around a kid, not used to thinking like a parent. But Amy? That's a whole different story. She's a mother. And a good one usually, but in that instant, it's like she forgot who she was. It's almost as if, deep down, she wanted to be caught. Maybe she wanted the truth to come out, even if it was messy. But still, watching Lindy's face when she realized what was happening, that hit hard. That little girl has already lost her father, and now she feels like she's losing her mother too. It's painful, it's unfair, and it's something Amy should have handled better. And honestly, it's one of those moments that will probably shape Lindy for years. Because how do you trust your mom again when she hides something like this right in front of you? And let's not forget how Amy handles the aftermath. Or rather, how she doesn't. Instead of facing Lindy's feelings head-on, she brushes them aside. When Lindy wants to uninvite Nathan, Amy doesn't even take a minute to think about it. She could have just picked up her phone, sent a quick message, and explained the situation like an adult. But no. She ignores Lindy's emotions and carries on as if her daughter's pain is just a small inconvenience. That's what makes this episode hit so deep, because we're not just watching a mother make a mistake, we're watching her lose sight of what matters most. And the worst part? Lindy's heartbreak feels so real. She's angry, disappointed, and confused. And honestly, who can blame her? This was supposed to be her day. Her moment. And instead, it turned into another reminder that sometimes, even the people we love the most can hurt us. Meanwhile, Nathan is caught in the middle, trying to make sense of the chaos. You can see the guilt written all over him. He didn't mean to upset Lindy or cause tension, but he knows it's too late to undo the damage. And yet, he's still there, still trying to make things right. That's why, despite everything, I can't bring myself to blame him. Because while Amy's actions feel careless, Nathan's reactions feel honest. He's trying, maybe too hard, to fit into a life that keeps pushing him away. And honestly, that's what makes him such a sympathetic character this season. He's flawed, yes, but also human. And watching him struggle to connect with both Amy and Lindy adds a level of realism that Heartland fans haven't seen in a while. By the end of this section of the episode, one thing becomes clear. Nothing will be the same again. The bond between Amy and Lindy has cracks. Nathan's place in their lives is uncertain, and the emotional fallout is only beginning. What's coming next is bound to test everyone's limits, especially Amy's. Because when your heart is divided between love and responsibility, every choice feels like the wrong one. And trust me, the next part of this episode will prove just how true that is. After the chaos of that moment, you'd expect Amy to take a deep breath and start fixing things, right? But no. Instead of sitting down with Lindy, explaining, apologizing, or even just hugging her, Amy decides to pretend like nothing happened. And this is exactly where everything starts spiraling out of control. Because when a child feels betrayed and ignored, that pain doesn't just fade away. It grows. You can see it in Lindy's eyes, that mixture of anger, sadness, and confusion. She doesn't even know how to express what she feels, but we can tell she's hurting deeply. And Amy's silence only makes it worse. It's like she's choosing to hide behind her guilt rather than face it. And the thing is, this isn't the Amy we know. This is a version of her that's scared, lost, and maybe even ashamed. And honestly, it hurts to watch. Now, the next big moment that shook me was Amy's reaction to Lindy's small act of rebellion. Because, let's face it, Lindy is not wrong for feeling the way she does. She just wants her mom's attention, her understanding. But when Amy dismisses her again, it's like she's telling her daughter, your feelings don't matter right now. And if that doesn't break your heart, I don't know what will. This is the kind of emotional distance that doesn't just disappear overnight. It plants a seed of resentment. And it's not that Amy doesn't love Lindy. She absolutely does. But she's torn between trying to move on with her life and protecting the fragile heart of her daughter. And this constant conflict inside her makes every choice she makes feel wrong, no matter what she does. Meanwhile, Nathan finds himself walking on eggshells. He knows Lindy's upset. He knows Amy's struggling. And deep down, he knows he's part of the reason for this entire mess. And for once, we see him completely out of his element. Usually, Nathan is calm, composed, maybe even too nice for his own good. But now, he looks uncertain. You can feel that awkward tension every time he's around Amy or Lindy. He's trying to help, trying to fix things, but he doesn't know how. And the worst part? He blames himself, even though he was never the one in control of the situation. And that's why, in this episode, Nathan becomes such a tragic character, because he's paying the emotional price for something he didn't start. And honestly, that makes me like him even more. But here's where things get really interesting. Despite all the heartbreak, despite all the awkwardness, Amy refuses to give up on making Nathan and Lindy get along. And at first, you think, maybe this will help. Maybe it's the chance they need to start fresh. So Amy plans something small, a picnic. Just the three of them. Simple, innocent, family-like. But of course, nothing in Heartland ever goes as planned. When Lindy realizes what's happening, she's hesitant. She's still angry, still hurt. But she goes along because, well, it's her mom. And this scene, this whole setup, feels like it's going to be either the start of healing or another disaster waiting to happen. Spoiler, it's both. During the picnic, Nathan does everything right. He's gentle, patient, respectful. He plays with Lindy, answers her questions, even when those questions cut deep. Because yes, Lindy doesn't hold back. She looks him right in the eye and asks what he really feels about her mom. And that silence before Nathan answers, that's the kind of silence that says everything. You can see the sincerity in his eyes when he tells her he truly cares for Amy, but that he would never want to take her mom away from her. And for the first time in the entire episode, we see Lindy soften, just a little. It's like Nathan finally earns a tiny piece of her trust. And that moment, no matter how small, feels powerful because it shows that maybe there's still a chance for things to work out if Amy doesn't mess it up again. But Amy, being Amy, always finds a way to complicate things. Instead of letting that quiet progress breathe, she jumps ahead too fast. She tries to make everything perfect in one go, like one picnic can erase all the hurt. And this is where the tension between her and Lindy reaches its peak. Lindy wants honesty, stability, and time. Amy wants forgiveness and a quick return to normal. But that's not how healing works. And that's why every small misunderstanding feels like a full-blown fight. Watching this dynamic unfold is painful, but it's also one of the most realistic portrayals of parent-child relationships Heartland has ever shown. Because love isn't enough if you don't listen. And while all of this is happening, there's another storm brewing. One that has nothing to do with love or family. Nathan's sister, who has already caused enough trouble, is back with another scandal. This time, it's not just about bad business decisions, it's about deceit. Lou finds out that Nathan's sister has been scamming clients again, and this time, Lou isn't holding back. You can feel the tension building between the two women. Lou, with her strict sense of justice, and Nathan's sister, with her manipulative charm. It's like watching two worlds collide, one built on principles, the other on survival. And poor Nathan is stuck in the middle once again. When Lou confronts him about his sister, you can see the heartbreak in his face. He knows she's right, but it's still his family. And what makes this so powerful is how real it feels. Because Nathan's conflict isn't just about right and wrong, it's about loyalty versus truth. He's already lost so much, and now he's being asked to choose between protecting his sister and doing what's morally right. And honestly, you can't help but feel for him. Because whatever choice he makes, someone he loves will get hurt. As the episode moves forward, it's clear that everyone is carrying their own burden. Amy's guilt, Lindy's heartbreak, Nathan's loyalty. It all blends into one big emotional storm. And just when you think things can't get worse, they do. The truth about Nathan's sister spreads faster than anyone expected, threatening not only his reputation, but Amy's as well. Suddenly, what was once a personal issue turns into a community scandal. And once again, Amy finds herself in the middle of it all, questioning whether bringing Nathan into her life was ever the right choice. By the end of this section, there's a heavy feeling hanging over everyone. You can sense that the calm after the storm is still far away. There are too many secrets, too many regrets, and too many wounds that haven't healed. And the worst part? The choices Amy makes next will determine everything. Because one wrong move, one more mistake, could destroy what little trust she has left with Lindy, and maybe even with herself. Just when you think the episode has hit its emotional limit, Heartland throws another curveball, one that changes the way you see every character involved. It's almost like the universe refuses to give Amy, Nathan, or Lindy a moment of peace. Every time something starts to heal, another wound opens. And this time, it's not just about family, feelings, or relationships. It's about integrity, reputation, and how far people are willing to go to protect what they love. Nathan's sister's scandal explodes in ways none of them expected, and suddenly the entire Heartland community is talking. People start whispering, questioning Nathan's character, and even Amy's judgment for trusting him. It's brutal, unfair, and messy. The exact kind of drama that shakes the Heartland world to its core. Lou, of course, wastes no time stepping in. She's furious. Not just because of the lies, but because she sees this as a direct threat to Heartland's values. And say what you want about Lou, but when she believes something's wrong, she doesn't hold back. The confrontation between her and Nathan's sister is nothing short of explosive. You can almost feel the tension in the air, Lou standing firm, demanding accountability, and Nathan's sister trying to twist her way out with excuses and half-apologies. It's one of those moments where you realize how strong Lou truly is. For once, her strictness and stubbornness work in her favor. She's not just fighting for business, she's fighting for honesty, for respect, for everything Heartland stands for, and when she finally exposes the truth, you can't help but feel proud of her. But this victory comes with a price. Nathan, caught in the middle yet again, has to face the fallout. He confronts his sister, hoping for some explanation, maybe even an apology. But what he gets instead is heartbreak. His sister admits everything, the scams, the deceit, and she doesn't even seem sorry. She justifies it, saying she had no choice, that she was only doing what she had to do to survive. And that's when you see Nathan break. Not visibly, not dramatically, but quietly. That silent kind of heartbreak where the disappointment is too deep for words. Because this isn't just about money or reputation, it's about family. And for Nathan, losing his sister's trust feels like losing a piece of himself. Amy, watching all of this, can't help but feel partly responsible. She's the one who brought Nathan closer, the one who vouched for him when others doubted. And now, she's watching his world collapse piece by piece. For a moment, you can see that old side of Amy, the one who wants to fix everything, the one who believes that love and patience can heal anything. But the truth is, not everything can be fixed with kindness. Some mistakes are too heavy, some betrayals too deep. And that realization hits Amy hard, because for the first time she sees that maybe she can't always protect the people she loves. Maybe she's been trying to hold on to too many broken things at once, and now they're slipping through her fingers. Then comes one of the most uncomfortable scenes in the episode, Caleb stepping into the picture. Yep, you heard that right. Caleb, who's usually the fun-loving, easygoing friend, suddenly takes on the role of the moral voice. After the now famous bathtub scene with his girlfriend that got everyone talking, Caleb decides it's time to speak his mind. And of all people, he chooses Nathan. It's an unexpected confrontation, but it hits hard. Caleb warns Nathan about how he's treating Amy, implying that maybe Nathan's presence is doing more harm than good. And honestly, the nerve. I mean, it's easy to roll your eyes and ask, Caleb, who put you in charge? But deep down, you know why this scene matters. Because it shows that people are watching. Amy's choices don't just affect her family, they ripple through the entire Heartland circle. Everyone has an opinion, and everyone's ready to speak it. Nathan, to his credit, doesn't fight back. He listens, quietly, with that same humility that makes him such a complicated character. But you can tell he's hurt. He already feels like he's walking on thin ice with Amy, and now even her friends are questioning his intentions. It's like no matter what he does, he can't win. And you start to wonder, how much can one man take before he finally gives up? But that's the thing about Nathan. He doesn't give up. Even when he should, even when the entire world seems against him, he stays. And maybe that's what makes him one of the most genuine characters in this entire season. Meanwhile, Amy's guilt keeps growing. She starts to realize that her biggest mistake wasn't the kiss. It was how she handled everything afterward. She could have been honest. She could have slowed down. She could have protected Lindy's feelings instead of brushing them aside, but instead, she tried to juggle everything at once, her role as a mother, her growing affection for Nathan, and her desire to move on from the past. And now, everything's collapsing. The weight of her decisions is finally catching up to her. There's this heartbreaking moment when Amy looks at Lindy trying to connect, and Lindy just looks away. No words, no anger, just silence. And honestly, that silence says more than anything else. It's the sound of trust breaking. Quietly, painfully, completely. What makes this episode so powerful is how real it feels. We've all made mistakes we couldn't undo. We've all tried to move on too fast, hoping things would magically work themselves out. And watching Amy struggle with that, with her guilt, her love, her confusion, hits deep. Because she's not a bad mother, she's just human. And sometimes being human means making choices you regret, hurting people you love, and realizing it too late. That's what makes this episode so shocking. It's not the scandals or the arguments. It's the raw truth behind them. By the time this part of the episode ends, you can feel that everyone's at a breaking point. Amy's questioning herself, Nathan's torn between loyalty and love, and Lindy's trying to protect her heart the only way she knows how, by building walls. And yet, there's still this tiny glimmer of hope shining through all the chaos. Because even after everything, even after the hurt and the mistakes, there's still love. It's buried deep, but it's there. The question now is, will it be enough to bring them back together, or will it all come crashing down for good?